right, let's see. Okay. Hello, everybody. I hope all of you are doing well. This is an impromptu live. I just decided to do this. Excuse me. I hope there's no lag over here. Slow more. Okay, hang on. I feel like my nose stud was going to fall off. Okay, so there we go. So I'm just going to wait. Hi, Kelly. How are you? Can you hear me? Can you see me? If you can, give me a thumbs up. And let me... Okay. I just had to text somebody and let them know I'm live. Oh, there you are. There's Kelly. Okay, hi Deb. How are you doing? I hope all of you are doing very well. So you can see me and you can hear me. If yes, give me a thumbs up. How's the lighting? Everything okay? So let me quickly, while we are doing that, let me quickly do the numerology on this, and then I have something to share with y'all. Lionel. Dahmer. H M E R. Adam John. Okay, just give me hi Alia, hi Joan. Give me 1 second, okay? So 10, 20 plus 12 is 32, 39. That is 3. So 10, 19, 22, 25, 31, 4. So okay, then 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 10 is 18. 8 plus 1 is 9. 6. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so here we have 8, 9, 10, 10. Okay, then November. All right, so Dahmer was, what's his thing? He is May 24th is Gemini, like he's a cusp, right? Sag, November 14th is Scorpio, July 27th is Leo. Okay. All right, y'all. I got that out of the way. Thank you so much for your patience. So here we have a few people. Kelly, Debbie, then we have Joan and Alia. We're all good. Thank you so much for being here. Chasing Stardust, my favorite thing to watch Friday night. Just got out of work, sitting here watching and drinking a cafe con leche. Good for you. So I'm happy y'all are here. I have to do this disclaimer, so bear with me. This is for entertainment purposes only. These are my observations, my opinions, and allegedly do your own research, do your own due diligence, and form your own conclusions. If we end up having any crazy people show up here, we'll just ignore them. Another thing I wanted to say is this is impromptu. One of you folks were kind enough to say, hey, it'll be interesting to do this reading. I said, why not? Never thought about this connection or whatever. And there's been some chatter going on about this situation, but unfortunately, the young child is gone. And of course, Doofus McGoofus got himself off in prison. So, what are we going to do, right? So let's see what the cards tell us, and then we'll take it from there. One thing I wanted to share with y'all, the past the past couple of weeks, it's unbelievable how many feathers I have come across just literally while walking, Bernie, of course. Literally float in front of me and fall there. And I never used to pick up feathers, right? Here and there I would once in a great while, but not really into collecting feathers, because I'm where am I going to keep them? I have so much here. Not that I have so much feathers, I just have so much stuff. But once in a while when I saw something that looked very interesting, I would pick it up. And of course, it's not like I'm going and plucking it off the live bird or anything. It's just fallen, shedding or whatever. It's almost every time I take Bunny out for a walk, I end up seeing a feather. So the first couple of days, I kind of just ignored it. I was like, oh, okay, whatever, right? And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to collect them. I have them all here, and I wish I could show them all. They're just like a whole bunch sitting over here. I must probably have a good 30 feathers here. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I really don't know what I'm going to do with them. But they're here. So, and I don't even know what motivated me to pick them up. And this is an unusual amount. I don't understand. I was like, okay, they look all right. And I just, so let's get started. Hey, Courtney, Kathleen Cheney, hi. So let's get started, right? Unless you all have any specific questions pertaining to this case or any observations, or we can just get right into it because it's 6:24. So I have Jeffrey Dahmer's name as Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer. He was born on May 21st, 1960, and he was offed on November 28, 1994. Adam John Walsh, he was born on November 14th, 1974, and he was unfortunately, date of death, right, is July 27, 1981. So how old was he? 6.5 years old? Yeah, something like that. So unfortunate, and what an adorable little child. And I have to give kudos to the Walsh family for turning that tragedy into something that has been able to help so many people across the world, right? Now, whether we agree with John Walsh, and there's always going to be people who are going to be like, oh yeah, there's something fishy with him, or something. Who knows? Maybe there is, maybe there is, I don't know, right? But having said that, the very fact that they lost a child and they were able to, John Walsh primarily was able to, create this whole, what do you call it, an organization where he's able to help so many people catch so many criminals. And of course, we also know that there was this whole allegations by one of his kids, I don't know whether it's a male child or a female child, alleging that he himself was into all kinds of shenanigans in terms of trafficking children or whatever. Allegedly, that's not something I'm cooking up. It's all on the web. So I don't know how far that's true or not. I have not done a reading for him, and I don't know if I'm going to. But so Jeffrey Dahmer is Gemini. Actually, he's a cusp, and then he also passed in Sad season. Adam is a Scorpion, passed in Leo. Now, I didn't get a chance to do the chart for Adam, but I did get really quickly just pulled up a chart for. Didn't get into much details, but I don't have Jeffrey Dahmer's time of birth, but he has the Sun in Gemini, and his Mercury is also in Gemini. There's a little bit looking at some other aspects of his chart. It's clearly evident that if he was able to like focus his energy, streamline whatever, the positive side, is a really intelligent guy, like seriously intelligent. But unfortunately, it's the deviousness that pops up. One thing I will say is, in the work environment, I don't think Jeffrey was aggressive in terms of being competitive at work, that kind of a thing. He wasn't like that. But there's a very innate sense of tension, negativity, a lot of self-destructive behavior, and self-sabotaging behavior also in him. He did have a lot of like mental strength. I mean, if he really would focus that energy onto something positive, he could have gone on to achieve so many things. But that negativity, that also a little bit of insecurity in let me back up. He did have a little bit of insecurity, and he was afraid to acknowledge the fact that if he utilized his intelligence for something really positive, what he was going to accomplish. He felt he wasn't worthy of it. But then the deviousness aspect of it took over. If you know what I mean, I don't know if I'm explaining it very well. And also, he was somebody who was very, very critical of himself, and very critical of his accomplishments. And so there was a great need to want to, in his own head, want to perfect his accomplishments. So I suppose that's one of the primary reasons why he kept on and on and on and on, But then again, like I'm saying, this is just my observations and my opinions. I mean, bottom line, he's a psycho, and he should have been put to death. And of course, unfortunately, he got offed. See, that's the thing, y'all. I mean, I know I'm gabbing a little bit. Hi, Karen. When we know that these people, these criminals, beyond any doubt, they have been captured, and beyond any doubt, they've been found to be the perpetrator, the criminal, the one who has done whatever. Why do we even bother? Just line them up and shoot them down. I'm all for that. Give me a thumbs up if you're all for it or not. I'm like, why do we have to go through the whole process of the court case and all? A lot of them have confessed to it. We have DNA evidence, we have video evidence, audio evidence, witness evidence and all that. And over and above that, what more do we need to say that, yeah, this whoever this idiot is the one who did such and such an act? Like, why are we even giving them a benefit of doubt and saying, oh, beyond, why? Just line them up and shoot them effers, that's what I say. But does anybody listen to me? I'm sure a lot of people are going to come after me and say, oh my God, why? Okay, so let's get on with this. Make sure my internet is all going to be good. Mhm. Okay, Oro. I made a spell check. Oro. I'm sorry. Oro. Okay. Okay. So I've got my 2 sets of cards, and let's see. Let me set this there, and then let me. So if I forget to show the cards, I forget. That's it. I forgot. That's it. No hidden agenda. So what I have here on my left hand side, okay, is for Dahmer, and then on the right hand side, on my right side, is going to be for Adam. It's very fated, y'all, because they both have like the 8th house, which is very, what's the word? He died, hang on. Let me. Where is my little thingy? Not you. Where are you? Have I lost you? Probably have. Nope, that's not you. There you go. Let's just do sexual energy, devious sexual energy. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Okay, let's see. So if Dharma is a Gemini, he's got Aries, Virgo, and Leo. So Aries is going to be his 11th house, okay, and 11th house is all about like-minded people, groups, and friends. Then he's got Virgo. Actually, he's a Taurus, Gemini cusp. 1, 2, 3, 4th house. 4th house is, home, emotions, family roots, that sort of thing. And he's got Leo. So 1, 2, 3. 3rd house is immediate environment. We understand that he did a lot of nastiness in his own home. Now this young man, he's a Scorpio, he's got a sister sign, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th house, father, Pisces. So 5th house. 5th house is, there's a lot of speculation. Yes, it also has to do with kids and siblings, and I'll tell you how that ties up. And we have Uranus. Uranus is all about sudden changes and shocks, and very unfortunate. Uranus rules Aquarius. Before I get any further, this clearly shows that. Now there's some information on the web, right? If you'll go and if you'll look it up, you'll find out, right? It is what it is. So I'm just going to say, this definitely shows me that he was in the company of his peers, meaning kids his age, when he was picked up. Oh shoot! What did I do? Oh my God! Where are my long cards? Hold on, yeah. Let me grab my. Okay. Absolutely was in the company of his peers when he was picked up. And the Cancer aspect of it also goes to show that, yes, 4th house, the number 4 here, right? He was in the 4th house is mother, okay? So he was in the company of his mother as well. So for this fool Dahmer, he has his 5th house and 6th house. So 5th house does talk about children, so there is that y'all, I'm going to stop here really quick and say this is for entertainment purposes only. And yeah, it's not entertaining, I know, but I have to say it for the sake of legalities. And these are my observations, my opinions, and allegedly do your own research, do your own due diligence, and form your own conclusions. So with him, that innate draw to someone who's weaker than him, or somebody who would be considered younger than him, be it in spirit, mind, or body, okay? And the sixth house does talk about habits. This is it's almost like feeding a habit. We know he was addicted to murdering, etc., etc. And the first house is all about self. So as much as he was came across as being aggressive, etc., etc., if you had picked him out of that environment and put him in a bunch of people, he had a lot of insecurities, very unsure of himself. So this was his way, I suppose, of overcompensating. Okay. Then for Adam, we have the 12th house. 12th house is a very karmic kind of is very karmic. It's your karma house. It's like completions and everything. But this is neither here nor there, but having said that, I do believe that if by any chance he would have been found in time before he passed, he would not have had physically wouldn't have had a normal life. Okay, so and his whole process from the moment he was snatched to the moment he was passed, very quick, very, very quick as in, I'm not going to say it was a quick death. I don't know. No, I shouldn't say I don't know. The time period was very quick, is what I'm trying to say. Hi, Cece. All right. We have the Hermit, we have the Star card, and then we have the Empress. With the Hermit card, it's Virgo again. It does talk about, and we have Virgo here too, right? I think it reiterates the fact that Dahmer was quite introverted, obviously. But also the fact of analyzing a little bit in terms of how do I go about doing it? I almost see him like standing back and thinking, okay, I'm here now. What do I do? How do I go about it? So it's not like he's walking by and he sees this child and he just grabs the child and goes. It's like watching and observing, and in his mind, like tick tock, how do I do this? Like giving it a little bit of thought. I'm also going to go so far as to say with this Aquarius card, he definitely had help of some sort. Okay. Now, remember I said Uranus is very prominent over here. Now keep in mind that Uranus does rule Aquarius, and I'm going to say this fellow did have some help. This is proof right there. So help in what way, shape, or form, I don't know. But with this, I'm going to say it sounds so horrible, y'all. I mean, even just trying to formulate the words, it's like it just comes across as being so horrible. It's almost to say, I can't wait any longer. I have to make this happen. So holding back, and like for him, pacing his acts of crime was not really an option at this time. It's like he needed that to do that right away. So it was almost a sense of I can't wait any longer, I need to do it. And the very fact that the Empress card is here, which also signifies mother, we understand that, Adam was with his mom. But I will say this guy had a weird all opinion about his own mom. Like his own mom, he had a weird his relationship, what he was able to show outside to his family with regards to his mother, the way he conducted himself, was completely different than the relationship he had with his mother in his head. So now let's get on to the actual reading. Remember, the ones on my left hand side, this is for what's his name, Dharma, and the one on my right is for Adam. And I'm going to use the same deck of cards, right? I mean, this, because I have two of these, I'm going to use that. I won't use my black deck. Hang on, y'all. Let me just put away my black deck. Whoa, hello. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm going to have to keep them separately. See, with this guy, what I'm being shown with this Aries card also, it's all about the self, but I don't understand how he can be, like, it almost seems like a contradiction in terms of his lack of self-confidence or his insecurities, and again, the confidence, the illusion of self-confidence, I think that's what I want to say. It's all about being in control, because Virgo also, Virgo is ruled by Mercury and it's Earth, etc., etc. But for him, it's also being very particular, fussy, specific, very bizarre. Yeah, I just, give me 1 second, okay? When did he die? July 27th, 1981. I want to see what day is July 27, 1981. What day is it? Oh, I'm not able to. 1981 calendar. Okay, just give me the day. What day is it? That's all I need to know. July 27th, correct? July 27th was a Monday. Okay. Never mind. Something just popped in my head and I had to. Hi Tammy, good to see you. I just needed to kind of. Cancer is Mondays and John does have Cancer here. So that explains that he passed. Okay. On a Monday. Okay, I just wanted to make sure whether they were all on one direction or they were mixed up. They are mixed up. So, okay, you want to pop out. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is my issue. When these readings, it's almost like very. You can't make this up. It's okay. Let's go back to this fool. What is his name? Dahmer. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is July. I get that. 22 is 4. 4 is close to the home. Okay. See, we have fame and renown, fruitless labor, and forgetting. For him, I do believe it was all about. Did he set out to be famous? No, but the notoriety that he that this case turned out to be Adam Walsh's case, this guy fed off of it. But he was also a little bit upset because he says all the work I put in, it's fruitless labor. Like, and then it's like, okay, forget, move on. Very bizarre mindset. It's like that feeling of elation. Y'all, again, let me preface this by saying this is just my observations, my opinions. Allegedly, this is for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research, do your own due diligence, and form your own conclusions. Hi Melanie, hi Delvin. It's like the satisfaction and the elation he felt after each incident was very short-lived. It's like the high was too short-lived, so he had to go out and source another situation. Pay attention to my words, because I have to be very respectful of the fact that so many people lost their lives. But then again, some words are high and are a little traumatic. I don't want to use those words. So I also will say at this point in time that even though they say they found so many cases and all, there are a lot more cases where that were not that were not like figured out. So it's not just a few people. I feel there were a lot more cases, and I definitely believe, as far as this is concerned, he had some sort of a help. Was that help in the actual act? Was the help in facilitating? I don't know. So for him, and then after that, it's like, okay, forget, move on, let's go on to something else. Now for Adam's side, he was lured in, and he looked at his the person who assaulted him with trust. There was a lot of trust here. He almost came across the person who assaulted him, in Adam's eyes, was somebody who he could trust, and somebody who he felt comfortable in. And unfortunately, that's a case. That's the case most often. These kids because kids are so trusting, right? But then some kids are a little bit more mature for their age. But the way he presented himself to Adam, I do believe the child was a little bit more trusting of him. And I want to say, initially, he did show a little affection to this child. But when I mean affection, like just to calm him and keep him comfortable. Like, it was very false. It was a tactic, but he did. There was absolutely deception, but of course we know that. I'm going to say that with the 9th house again over here popping up very, very obviously, 9th house, as we know, it's father, intellect, higher elevated sense, like your higher self, etc., etc. We know obviously John Walsh was so active in ever since this happened. But there's also an element of forgiveness over here, saying that, okay, it has happened, not so much for forgiving the perpetrator, but forgiving oneself for having gone. So I do feel at one point in time the child was very upset with himself for having trusted this person, but he has subsequently forgiven himself for being so trusting. Does that make any sense? I don't know if you all So I won't use this. Let me use another set. I don't know which one to use. Actually, I'll use this guy. I'm not going to be showing you every single deck I used. Did I get all the cards from here? Yeah, I did. Ow. What is going on here? Y'all, did y'all hear that? I don't know if the camera picked it up. Like 2 knocks. I literally heard 2 knocks. Okay, we'll see if any of y'all hear it or not. It's not Bernie because he's passed out and he's not going to be knocking on the walls. It not on the door. It sounded like knock on the wall. I'm going to do this. Hang on, everybody. Thank you. If you hear that knocking, let me know. I mean, this is me doing my cards, so that I get. That's not. Oh my word. Now let's get into the reading. Why are so many pentacles coming out? So we have the 8 of Wands, okay? Then we have the Knight of Swords. Then we have the Moon card. We have the Fool card. And then here we have the 6 of Cups and the Hierophant. This 8 of Wands over here tells me that there was definitely help. It was a quick snatch and grab. But they are witnesses, y'all. They are witnesses to what happened. Based on what I'm seeing here, this whole chatter that's been going on, that there's a possibility that Dahmer is the one who actually is responsible for the demise of Adam John Walsh, I'm going to say yes. Okay, they are doing their forensic whatever, I'm doing my cards. So I suppose in our own ways we are investigators, if you will. There's a lot of chatter about it, and the chatter is the fact that people saw what they saw is true. With the Knight of Swords over here, one individual was definitely looked into and questioned, but he was very, very smart and very, very smooth in getting himself out of the situation, and he did it really quickly. The moon card over here is Pisces, and we already have a Pisces over here for him, right? This tells me that of course under the pretext of darkness, etc., etc., but also there was a lot of deception. Now this fast talking person was very deceptive and was able to get away from being held responsible by authority. So I wonder if whoever helped Dahmer, like I said, I don't know whether that person helped Dahmer in the actual act or facilitated, like maybe driving him there, or hey, I met you earlier, or met him earlier or right after, or by some way, shape, or form, he might have slipped up and said something to this person. This person was very, very clear about, yeah, no. There's also a little bit of wannabe type of an energy over here. Where did I put those cards? Let's take it further. I'm not reading the, what is it saying? Yeah. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. But you know, you also have to say, Delvin, like, sometimes when we see something, we don't realize what it is, like, right? I mean, I'm not making excuses for anybody, but see something, say something, but sometimes it doesn't compute. And, you know, maybe people those days didn't, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I shouldn't be commenting. The 9. Okay. The Queen of Wands. Lot of very... He had help, y'all. This fool absolutely had help. So here with this 9, very steadily, calmly leaving the environment, steering away from the environment. The Queen of Wands, which I believe would be Adam Walsh's mother, was very calm, in the sense that, no, that's not the right way to say. I think instinctively she knew that he was gone, but then it's like trying to keep calm and not pay attention to that particular thought, because it's almost like fear-mongering kind of a thought, and trying to subdue it and stay calm and not focus on that and still hang on to hope. She knew right away that he was stolen, and he was... 6 of Swords. I believe this child was moved from one location to another really fast. And he had help. So see, that's what I'm thinking. I wonder if whoever helped him helped him in that aspect, like moving him from place A to place B. Do you get what I'm saying? I think that's why, because the star card's popping up again with Aquarius, and it talks about Saturn and its Uranus, etc., etc. And it also does, as we know, Saturn is restrictions, hindering, constriction, restriction, tying down, holding down, etc. But I do believe whoever helped him might have helped him in that aspect, like moving from one place to another, or driving him from here or there. But also with Uranus over there, it was all very quick and sudden. So the period of time between when he was picked up and when he passed was a short window of time. And also I do believe that this whole thing, the help, the this, that, however they coordinated it, let's, for lack of a better term, let's call it logistics, happened really fast. Really fast. So I don't know how many days after he went missing they found him. I don't know if y'all, any of y'all know that. So I don't know. Wait. So I don't know if does anybody know how many days after Adam went missing he was found? His remains were found. If you all do know that, let me know. Here. Hey Susie Q, how are you? So let's put this away. I'm just trying to get a little bit organized, y'all, because then my table gets so cluttered, and you know me. We'll continue the reading. I'm not done yet, and I'm just trying to kind of make some space. So y'all, I want to say something while we are doing this. I just saw on the news that that in just the month of September, apparently, like wait, what is Elena saying? Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. In the month of September alone in Cleveland, Ohio, 50 kids went missing. Kids. So there's this whole thing that was on the news they were talking about, where they were saying that in Cleveland, Ohio, we're talking about just Cleveland, right? That 1,000 plus kids have gone missing just from the 1st of January 2023 up until now. Can you imagine? What is the government doing about it? Can somebody, like, seriously, like anybody in the government, the governor of Ohio or whoever, can he kind of step up to the plate and explain to us what the hell is going on? It's all over the news. I don't know why people are not all going up in arms. Or maybe they are, but they are just trying to control it and not tell us anything. Right? Let's continue this. Yeah. It's really, really, y'all, also another thing before I continue this, I want to say, I watched, I know we're going to focus on this, but just so that I don't forget, I saw this little video about this young man somewhere in Texas. He was a football player from Rice University, comes from a wonderful family. I'm sorry I don't remember his name, but comes from a wonderful family, etc. Father was also a football player for college or whatever. Beautiful family, you know, 2 daughters, a son, and of course both the parents. Really beautiful family. And this kid, all round kid, and even just looking at his picture, oh my God, I was like, why, right? All round awesome kid. And so passionate about football, on the right track, did everything right, focus, family support, everything right, keeping his grades up, doing whatever, scholarships, this, that, whatever, right? He had some shoulder pain and asked one of his buddies or somebody in the team or somebody for some pain meds, because he did have an appointment to go see the team doctor, but apparently it was not soon enough for him. So apparently he texted and asked if he could have a specific, I don't know whether it was oxycodone or whatever, he specifically used a term, and the friend gave him 2 or 4 pills or whatever, and this kid comes home and he takes 1 or 2 of it, and then he wakes up dead. So then all hell breaks loose. They finally track down who gave him the stuff. That kid was apparently overseas, so he came back, and he himself voluntarily went to the police station and kind of said, hey, what do you want from me, this, that, and the other. And he was going to be sentenced to life imprisonment, but because he was able to assist the police and tell them where he sourced the product from and give up information, so I suppose they were able to track down the other guys and catch them or whatever, he ended up getting 12 years in prison. Okay, that's really, what really broke my heart was, kids, right? Hey, maybe the doctor's appointment was a week, and that's another thing with the medical system, right? It's like you fix an appointment with the doctor. First, you have to jump through these hoops with these dang insurance companies. Then you get the appointment with the doctor, and by the time you go see the doctor, it's like 2.5, 3 months later. Either the problem gets resolved, or it gets so exasperated, or the patient is dead. Isn't that crazy? But if he is a team doctor, I wonder what might have transpired that he couldn't see this child soon enough, right? And the father said something in the end that really, really, really caught my attention, and he's spot on. Really beautiful family, okay? And what he said was, if this could happen to this child, it could happen to anybody, because this is a very straight-laced kid, right on the straight and narrow to success, responsible, etc., etc. Why is it that we are not having more conversations about such things on the news, on the media, on the internet, in terms of public service announcements? Why aren't they saying anything about it? Like, the only time, and the father says, the reason I'm talking is because I want people to be aware of it. So, and then they come to find out that what he had texted and asked for a specific medication was not what he got. So technically that becomes murder, right? Or something like that. But anyway, so in terms of public service announcement, like, please don't go to anybody and ask for medication, whether you have a headache or your leg hurts or your whatever hurts. Please, I know it's difficult. Do it the right way, reach out to, and I know I said sometimes you don't get appointments at the doctors, go to ER, go to urgent care. Please, kids, if anybody who, not just kids, young adult is watching, because this channel is not for anybody below 18, please don't ask a friend or a neighbor or a family member to give me something. Or that's one thing I've always been very specific about, right? Like, a lot of families, they'll be like, yeah, this is what I take for my migraine, take this medication, your headache will go. I was always very particular from the very beginning, and that's the way my parents were too. If there is a prescription for a certain member of the family, nobody else gets to take it. No. Like, for example, I'm saying migraine, right? Oh, I have a headache. Yeah, take this migraine pill, little. No. You do not do things like that. So just, my little way of public service announcement, please do not trust. You don't know where they're sourcing it from. You don't know what the heck it is. I mean, like, once it's done, there's no turning back the clock. You can't undo it. So please be very careful, and no matter who it is, just don't. It breaks my heart, but anyhow. Yeah, even prescription medicines that are so easily handed out by the doctors. But then again, these kids going and asking, hey man, my body hurts, give me something, in school, in college. Oh my God, please don't do it. Okay, so Elena says he was found 2 weeks after the abduction. Okay. Delvin says 2 weeks after the abduction. Okay, so that means he was found pretty soon, isn't it? Hey Araceli, how are you? Okay, let's get on. Let's see what else pops up in this reading for this case. So going back to the original, the title of this video, I am now convinced that yes, Dahmer did have something to do with the demise of Adam Walsh. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. Allegedly is my observations, my opinions. Do your research, do your own due diligence, form your own conclusions. I wonder if John Walsh knew at some point in time that Dahmer was responsible for the demise of his son. So, because if almost 13 years after Adam passed, John Dahmer was off in prison, right? So I wonder if John Walsh knows, you know. Hi. ISOF says hi, Kirtana. Hi. Okay, let's get into this some more. Man, a lot of threes. So immediate environment. Okay, the Tower card. The Hierophant pops up again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do this. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I need some more space as usual. There's not enough space. Okay. All right, let's get 2 more cards. That Knight of Swords pops up again, man. Yeah. And the Queen. Okay. So we have threes, y'all. This 3 is talking to me about, this is 3 of Swords. Now 3 of Swords is a card of betrayal. It's a card of heartache, betrayal, surgery, yada yada, all that stuff. But the way this card is appearing to me, it definitely feels like in the midst of enjoying a particular situation or an event, betrayal happened. So if hindsight is 2020, there's nothing you can do about it. It's all done and gone. If I'm not going to say it. If shoot. How do I phrase this? We don't need to be laying guilt on anybody. I do believe that while they were having fun and being rambunctious is when this incident happened, because it almost seemed like an ideal environment to snatch him. Do you get what I'm saying? And then you have this three of wands, celebrations. It's just having fun. It's celebrating. It's just happy time. And then the Tower card comes. So yes, I do believe that these kids must have been arguing. They must have been fighting or getting rambunctious rather than just playing and having fun. That part of it kind of makes sense. And then the Tower happens where the destruction comes in, or you can tell that elimination, destruction, the power to disintegrate something walks in there. So that aspect, it clearly, yes, I will say I agree. These kids must have been fighting while they were playing instead of just playing and enjoying themselves. And that was an ideal scenario to distract him and take him, and the Tower situation happens. Then we have the King over here. Now, here's the thing. This to me appears like somebody who is supposed to be protective. So I wonder if this might have been the mall security or the security for the store. It almost seems like this individual saw something and was trying to hail somebody down or stop somebody and say, hey, you come here, you, whatever. But there seems to be a little bit of an interaction between this person and the perpetrator. Okay? And then you have the Hierophant. As we know, the Hierophant is Taurus, right? It does talk about, organizations. It does talk about authority, that sort of a thing. I'm going to say pretty soon, the authorities were pretty soon. I don't even think it happened more than 40 minutes later, or 40 or 50 minutes, well within an hour, the authorities were involved, well within an hour. And then begins the search, and then begins the search. But here's another thing. Two children absolutely did see the person who picked up John Walsh. Two children. Absolutely. Then we have the 10 here. So this is 5, 6. See, this is a energy. This 10 is an energy of almost trusting the Hierophant to find really quick. But with the Wheel of Fortune popping up here, it shows me that things were turning so fast that it's almost like they things are moving. So I'm not going to say that they didn't search for him right away. I do believe they did take note, but in their opinion, things were going fast, but they're not fast enough. Obviously, right? You are the parents. You feel like they're not doing enough. They're not moving fast enough. But things started changing really fast. Like the whole scenario, the whole whatever they were able to gather, whatever things were changing really fast. And with the king over here, again popping up over here, I'm going to say that whoever was responsible for the case kind of sort of dropped the ball a little bit by not taking into account particularly the children who came and said, yes, we saw the person. Literally, the children who said, yes, we, like describing, he didn't take it seriously. But I'm also going to go so far as to say the children who saw this guy were kind of saw him hanging around or observing him or whatever the heck, and they kind of were a little bit cautious about this individual. This card tells me that they were very cautious about him. But kids being kids, with the Fool card, they just want to be free. They want to be unencumbered, and they are like immediately they start like playing and being children and doing things. But I will say though, there was another child over here who, for whatever reason, not the two kids who saw, who for whatever reason decided to was like, okay, this is weird, or maybe the child's instincts were good, was like, I'm just going to go home. I don't want to be here. I'm just going to go home. And the child bailed. Then we end up having the queen over here. Okay, it's the Queen of Cups. There is definitely a very emotional female over here, and I don't think it's the mother, who is like, yeah, I was there, I saw, but then I didn't pay attention. That sort of a thing. So I wonder if, as they are saying, it's this lady who was part of the store who actually was annoyed with these kids and said, y'all better go home. It kind of makes sense, and they're exactly it kind of makes total sense. Now we have the Knight of Swords, and then we have the Sun card. Yeah. So, I don't want to get too graphic, but I don't want to get too graphic, but I do believe that, yes, he did use a Knife of Swords, and so it wasn't, the first blow wasn't like, oh my God. See, I don't know why I decided to do this. Now I'm like, shoot, I don't want to see what I'm seeing. Initially, it wasn't, the initial weapon used was a knife or a sharp object. And then you have the Sun card. The very first strike, I think, the very first strike, wherever he struck the child, either put him out of made him unconscious, or the very first strike was enough to unaliven him? The Ace of Swords, Page of Wands, Two of Wands. Yeah, were they expecting somebody to, between the time he went missing and between the time his body was recovered or he was recovered, were they expecting a ransom call or something like that, or did they have a ransom call, or were the family getting ready to prepare for ransom? Because I feel like the father was kind of sort of convinced in his head that this is going to turn out to be a ransom thing. And they were like literally grasping at things and trying to figure things out, saying that, okay, fine, like we will, let's prepare for that and just wait and see, because the Page of Wands shows up. And the Page of Wands says, let's get a little bit creative and let's wait and see before we take action. And then here you have the Ace over here again, Ace of Pentacles, which is like, okay, we need to take things under control and go for it. But I will say though, I'm going to go back and say that this fellow was assisted, y'all. I do believe he had help. I do believe he had help. So the family might have been preparing for, it's going to be a ransom call. I don't know what the father and mother's position was, financial, economic position at that point, status at that time. But they were like, yeah, it's going to be a ransom call. Then with the Pentacles, it's almost like Ace of Pentacles, it's almost like taking things into consideration and control, that we are going to have to be prepared for monetary demands, and let's get that organized and take a control of that. So coming up with the funding for that and being quite aggressive in terms of, okay, maybe we should really aggressively thinking of that, convinced almost. So I don't know, one more thing, where exactly Adam was found, but I'm going to say at the base of a tree. So again, somebody over here, I thought there were two cards here, somebody over here should put almost near a tree or at the base of a tree. I don't know why a tree is popping up. So I don't know what the thing is. Or maybe part of his body is under a tree or at the base of a tree. I don't know how that's... Hi, Sunshine Dragonfly. See, a lot of moon energies, okay. Nine of Pentacles, the Hanged Man. Okay, well, who are you? So can somebody put in the comments if you all know if okay, let's back up. So Queen of Cups, then we have the Nine of Pentacles, then we have the Hanged Man, then here we have the Eight of Eight of Pentacles, you could say, and then we have the Seven over here. Okay, what I'm going to say looking at this is the emotional aspect of this case, the toll it took on not just the parents but also on the authorities is quite a bit. There is another lady over here. I'm not talking about the security guard female who worked in that store. I'm not talking about the mother. There's another lady over here who was quite instrumental in this case. Okay, in the sense that not as a perpetrator but somebody who was involved. I don't know whether she was part of the search party or the legal whatever. There was a lot of emotional involvement there, and I do believe that for a brief period of time, both the parents were also investigated and their finances were also checked. Then you have the hangman, and then everything came to a standstill. Okay? Everything came to a standstill. But I see here, right after this particular incident, I'm going to say this, Doofus McGoofus, Dahmer, was physically, violently sick. Like sick. I don't know why, but like really sick. And then here you almost have this element of, I gotta stop for a little brief period of time. See, earlier I said for him, the elation he felt after a particular act of violence was very short-lived and he had to go, it's like the constant feeling, right? But in this case, for a very brief period of time, I'm going to go so far as to say 3 days, he was like, I don't know if I can continue to do this. There was a little bit of a questioning and self-doubt over there. But he would, probably because he was physically sick, like violently sick. So I don't know what he might have done to make himself so sick. But pretty soon they did stop searching also, I will say. But yeah, I'm going to go so far as to say that if part of his body was recovered, the other part is still somewhere underground, under a tree, at the root of a tree, at the foot of a tree, somewhere. It wasn't completely destroyed by him. It's getting a little too graphic what I'm seeing over here, and I'm not going to go explaining all of that, so we're going to leave that. Let me take a quick look at what you folks are saying. Hey DJ Prometheus. I agree with you. Wait, Courtney says he was so young I know different times, but was he left alone when these kids left alone? Couldn't imagine. Yeah, times are different. Oh, the echo is back? Oh, okay. Oh, shh. Just as you say that, yeah, I put, I charged the battery, right? I have this here. So this was in the camera. I took it out and I charged it, and the one that was 100% charged, I put it there. Now, as you all are saying that, I'm looking at the camera and it shows I'm only down to 49. I mean, I'm already down to 49%, which is like, what the heck? And we've been at this reading for like what, just about an hour? I don't know. Oh, am I still echoing? There's nothing, no fan, no AC. I don't know. Let's figure out and see if there's any energy around here. Okay. I'm not doing that. Okay, let's get on with this. I'm going to put this, I can, yeah, it's, I, sometimes it gets very graphic what I'm being shown, and I don't necessarily, you know, see, that's the thing for those of you who are mediums and psychics yourselves, you all will very much understand, like, there's some images that are so graphic and so disturbing that it's very difficult to wrap our heads around. And I know it's all great, fine and dandy because, you know, energy wants to talk to us, and, you know, I always appreciate them coming through for me and, you know, all that good stuff. But sometimes it's like, oh my God, did I really need to see that? Did I really need to see that? That's exactly what happened just now. And yes, there is energy coming through. So, I will say though that there was somebody else also involved. So, whether to what extent that person helped, couldn't tell you. Thank you. Yeah, I can say though, confirmation is that I know earlier I said his body is there somewhere, but no, what I'm being told is they're not going to find his body. So, yeah, sometimes it's. his body. I know earlier I said I saw it under a tree or the base of a tree or something, but maybe it's too far disintegrated, and both of them, when they passed, the 8th house is very activated, and 8th house does talk about, death, etc. So. Third and 11th, weird environment. Yeah. Dahmer died too soon, and they should have tortured the heck out of the. I was going to say a bad word, but for the sake of YouTube, I won't say bad words. But if you know what I mean, I wish they. I don't know how. Whether Dahmer died immediately or he was in the hospital and he died or whatever, but I would be like, you're not going to get any medical treatment. FUCKER, you just sound sadist, but why should, you know what I mean, right? I mean, it's when they don't show any mercy, when they carry out all these acts, why should we show them any mercy? Like, why should, how they talk about all these, not all these, a lot of these people who are in prison for life or whatever the heck, oh, they've been diagnosed as having cancer, they have this and they have that, and all the gazillion dollars, us taxpayers spend. The government is not spending their money. The prison system or whoever owns the jail system, they're not paying out of their pockets. I mean, well, if they're paying taxes, I suppose, but for the most part, taxpayers are the ones who are paying for all of that. Why the hell should we pay for their treatment? Like, why? Let them just freaking go. I'd rather take all that money that we would be spending on these criminals who are treated because they have terminal illness and spend it on kids who are, their life is just starting and they have like St. Jude's or whatever, that kind of a thing. Y'all, I mean, whether you agree with me or not, I don't really care. This is just my opinion. So I'm just saying. The gazillion dollars we spend, with this inflation and all the drama, how much does it cost to maintain a prisoner? Right? It's like, why? Screw that. I mean, think about it. They get chemo treatment and they get radiation and then they get 24 hours, assistance. And guess what, y'all? If you and I were to end up going to the hospital for some terminal illness, we have something called copay, which we have to pay out of our pocket over and above everything else, right? Right? These people, they don't have no copay, they don't have no health insurance. Everything is borne by the system. What the hey, right? And then they get food, and then they get nurses, and they get... Don't get me started. Okay. 2 of Cups, 5 of Cups, 10 of Wands. Then we have... the Star card has popped up every single time. And then we have the 7 of Pentacles. So, partnership. Absolutely partnership. Somebody has helped him. With the 2 of Cups, I also see the Star card. Somebody has helped him. 5 of Cups. Whoever this person is who helped him or who was his cohort, that relationship didn't last for very long. Because there seems to be a little bit of a push and pull between the two of them with regards to being dissatisfied emotionally by each other and feeling very burdened by that. And so then it's like whatever they enjoy, the 2 cups, they're like, yeah, it's not working, and pour it back. And then 7 of Pentacles is telling me they each went on their separate ways to continue to work on their criminal journey and to continue to work independent of each other. So, did Dahmer have a partner all his life in his crimes? I don't think it was all his life in each and every one of his crimes. But for a certain period of time, he sure as heck did, y'all. That's what I'm going to say. See, there's so many things that pop up when we are shown these images. I can't even say that on I was going to say TV, but on this, because people are going to be like, it's really very shocking, and it's very graphic, but people are going to be either thinking I'm totally cuckoo, or they're like, oh, she's saying this for salaciousness, which I'm not. I mean, seriously, I'm a mom, I have kids, like, there's nothing salacious about this. That's not my intention, but people will misunderstand purposefully, and how all that goes, the haters, right? So, um, so let me see. Okay. Knight of Cups, wow. Ten of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Empress, Magician, the Nine of Pentacles. Give me one more card, please. And the Hangman, but in upright. This would have been the Hangman, but it's in reverse, not upright. So with the Knight of Cups, very, very charming, very he has the ability to be very, very charming. Okay, he could charm the pants off anybody if he wanted to. But with the Ten of Pentacles, it's continuing to work on his skills. So for whatever reason, as graphic as this sounds, every time he accomplished a deed, we'll call it a deed, right? He felt like he was refining his skills, fine-tuning his skills. I will say his every single, his intuition, his memory, his instincts, his ability to go inwards and be in touch with himself, as twisted as it sounds, very much in tune with himself, his emotions, his everything. It's a very difficult kind of a thing to explain, y'all, because there is an element of insecurity. Then there comes that confidence, and then there comes that I know I'm confident, I'm capable of doing so many things, but I'm afraid of the outcome of it. But then you have also this highly tuned intuitiveness, and for him, I will say that his illness, his whatever, started at in the womb. I'm just going to say that. And also in his head, his opinion, his relationship, the way he perceived his relationship with his mom in his head is completely different than what he might have said, how he might have displayed his interactions. Then you have the Magician, and then you have the Nine of Pentacles. So this tells me, again, feeling empowered by every endeavor, successful endeavor, and he felt like he was fine-tuning, okay, constantly working on that and fine-tuning. And he did feel at some point in time that he was going to be so, this word, I know what it means. Eloquent is something you use when we say somebody is very good in speech, but that word is being given, like, put on my head for some reason. So it doesn't make sense, because we're talking about speech and action. You can't be eloquent in your actions. You can be eloquent in your speech, but why are they saying that? But it almost seems like so he can discuss or present his endeavors in such a way that would catch the attention of people. And then you have the Hangman in reverse. Now we know what Hangman does mean, right? It means like being in a state of limbo and being in a state of a holding pattern, not necessarily taking action. But if it is in the reverse, it almost feels like it was all about any obstacles, any hesitations were removed. But why? I wonder whether he was planning on, I don't know, maybe writing a fictitious book. I wonder whether that's what he was really wanting to do. Let me see what comes up with this. So we have Gemini here, and then we have, oh my God. So Mercury, it's communication, it's speech, it's how you communicate yourself. I wouldn't be surprised if this fellow really had intentions of actually writing a book, a fictitious book, but based on his own. Based on his own experiences. So that's why I suppose that eloquence, ELEQUONANCE, you know what I'm saying. So translating the actions into perfectly presented speech and being very eloquent in how you present it. And this whole Capricorn thing with the devil card here, that would have made him feel very liberated if he was able to write a book or whatever, because he felt that would be like the crown, right? That would be the ultimate accomplishment, and I've accomplished everything. Y'all, this is the most freaking, I'm going to say a bad word. This is fucked up. Oh my goodness, this is really woo-wee. So I don't know if anybody has ever had any so, you know, it's almost like the energy I get from him is wanting to be prominent, wanting to be famous, but then again, not wanting to be in the limelight. So it almost seems like, you know how there are these celebrities who are like really famous and everything, but they're not all the time in your face, but everybody knows who they are, right? That sort of a thing. Let's get going. I like these cards. Y'all, I was thinking about, you know, all those plans I had about those classes and this and that and everything that I was so kind of figuring out so I could start and do all those things. And I was so close to actually setting it up, and how everything got derailed because, you know, my health and travels and this and that and all. I was thinking about it the past couple of days, and I'm like, you know what, I really want to do it, but it's just a question of, you know, sitting down, and maybe the timing was off, and maybe it was also because, remember, I was doing videos every day for a short period of time and I basically got burnt out. That was the stupidest thing ever. I shouldn't have, you know, I bit off more than I can chew, and I'll be honest about it. It was a fun concept and everything, right? The Mystery Mondays and whatever, if y'all remember that. But I really bit off more than I could chew, and I kind of burnt out, y'all, seriously. So I was thinking about it, and even today, like, to be honest with you, when I was thinking about doing this video, I felt like a little bit, I'm just going to be like super honest. Yeah, I wanted to do it, and then I was kind of resting for a little bit, and then I was like a little annoyed, like, why do I have to do it, right? And then I thought about it and I'm like, what, like, why am I getting that thought in my head? Like, why do I have to do it? Like, it was almost like, go sit and do your homework type of thing. And then I was like, okay, this is crazy. So I immediately got up, I had a cup of coffee, and I sat here for about 10 minutes, and I was like trying to kind of analyze my own thoughts. And I was like, why am I feeling this way? And then I realized I'm just get up and do it, because I do enjoy making these videos. It's just that when you fall off the bandwagon per se, like, remember how regularly I was doing it and then it kind of got like few and far between. It's like getting back into the groove is a little bit of a struggle, because you kind of you're out of the system, right? So it wasn't me being lazy, it just was that I need to get back into the system. So I'm going to try to do it as often as I can, at least every Fridays. Then I thought maybe this particular subject, I thought, you know what, maybe I should just record it and post it. Then I was like, that's a whole nother drama, I'll just do live. So I figure I'll just continue to do lives, y'all. That's what I'm going to do. At least one a week I'm going to try. And it is very draining. It's whew. Okay. Okay. Very weird card. So Three of Cups, Knight of Cups. I'm sorry. Page of Cups, Three of Cups, Page of Cups, King of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, and Seven of Cups. That element of rejoicing, that element of luring in people on the pretext of having fun, and particularly with younger men, he always started off with a drink, some sort of a drink with something in it, so that it was like a fine-tuned process. Oh, have a seat, let me, oh god, here we go again. Thank you, Susie, but here we go again. This is too graphic, I'm going to say it. This is for entertainment purposes only. These are my observations and opinions. These are allegedly. Do your own research, do your own due diligence, form your own conclusions. It's like almost wearing a mask, right? Everything is happy, let's enjoy, let's have fun, like party type of a thing, and have some fun. And then it's like, oh, let me go get a drink and come back. And it's like the moment he says that and he turns around, it's like he's wearing a mask. And for him, that fraction of a second, y'all, this is graphic, okay? If you don't like what you hear, click off and go somewhere else. Don't be leaving nasty comments on these videos. These are my observations, my opinions, and allegedly. Do your own research, do your own due diligence, and form your own conclusions. If you don't like what you hear and see, buzz off. That one fraction of a second that he kind of turns with whatever, like I can physically see him go to the kitchen almost, and it's like I'm getting graphic. It's open concept kitchen, like something at the back, and he turns and he gets something in a glass and comes. The moment that 1 second where he turns is like he's wearing a mask and he actually has a erection. I'm just going to say it. Actually, I just said it. And from that moment on, the control element, the very earthy, the very carnal, that kind of energy takes over. Okay? And then you have the Five of Pentacles, which is also very earthy energy. Y'all, I'm feeling sick to my stomach just now. I want to throw up right now. Whoo, baby. Like literally a flash of nausea. Like I just got hit with nausea. I just got hit with nausea so bad right now. Whoo. So maybe whatever he's giving in that drink or whatever is something that makes these people sick and knocks them out or kind of makes them hazy or whatever. Y'all, I just got hit with nausea so bad right now. Like seriously, even if I want to barf, like my trash can is full of waste paper. I might just dash. It's so bizarre. Uh, um, so with the Five of Pentacles, then the whole turning of, like, it's like the movie, like, okay, it's like, okay, we did scene 1, scene 2, I'm sorry if this is graphic. It then comes the restraining of the individual, okay, and the restraining of the individual, and then almost like trying to convince the individual that, oh, this is fun, like it's just fun. But see, that's the thing. It's the way he presents these. It's like the individual kind of is aware of what's going on, but can't do much about it, but also is convinced, but is also excited, but is also compliant, but not really compliant. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it, y'all. But that's when that one moment of realization that you're isolated, you're restricted, you're tied, there's nothing you can do about it. And then you have the Seven of Cups, and that Seven of Cups does talk about pleasure. And that's when he starts taking pleasure in his acts. So I'm sorry this is really graphic, but I mean, I can't get over this nausea thing hitting me. Kathy Sandine. Oh, sure. I didn't get a letter though, Kathy. I think you sent an email. But anyway, so let's see what I can find out, what the cards will tell me. How did he feel about him being attacked, right? Isn't that how he died? Another prisoner got him. Let's see. These cards and these cards. There are too many, but we'll see what's going on here. Too many. Oh, we'll take them. Oh, that feeling of nausea is not going away. Shoot. I sure as heck am going to be saging after this. Let me tell you. Give me one more card, please, right here. And that, okay. Okay, we have 13 cards. What are the odds we have 13 cards? Yeah, look at this. This star card, man. Okay, we have the Hermit, the High Priestess, Five of Pentacles, Seven of Cups. Then we have the King of Swords. No, that's the Queen of Swords. We have Temperance. We have the Page of Swords. Wait, hang on one second. What are you? Something just hit me. Okay, never mind. Then we have the Nine of Wands. Then, I'm sorry, the Page of Swords, Nine of Wands. Then the Knight of Swords. Then we have the Sun card. Then we have uh, Justice, Two of Cups, Nine of Swords, Five of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, and the Star card. Okay, I just read out the cards to y'all. I think he figured he wasn't very safe in prison, and intuitively he knew something was going to go down. He never felt safe. He was very concerned. I'm going to say this fellow is a little bit intuitive too. He was very concerned about his safety and security, and he knew very well that he was not going to be very safe. But he also understood that the prison system, and there were options and choices and opportunities for him to be asking for favors, receiving favors, and a price to be paid for that. Unfortunately, the price to be paid for that favor was death. He did try to temper his approach in prison. He did try to find balance, but he always felt that he had to stand guard. He had to be careful. He did feel like he had to stay within his limits, stay within his boundaries if he really wanted to survive. He understood the fact that even though he's all that in a bag of chips, that he always had to be on guard, okay, and had to take responsibility for his own thing. But he would never hesitate to act swiftly. I am going to go so far as to say that if he were given an opportunity, he would have continued to carry on his disastrous endeavors even in prison and hurt people in prison, his fellow inmates, if he hasn't already. Then you have the Sun card. Whoa, this one is jumping out at me. All right, we'll see what that's about. Then we have the Sun card, and the Sun card does talk about, yes, masculinity, yes, wanting to be, be the ray of sunshine. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if whoever offed him, somebody else who was responsible, somebody else who is related to a particular child who he has destroyed, right, has some connection to somebody in prison, a child. And that's when the Justice card pops up, because finally balance, and then followed by Two of Cups, again balance. Then we have Temperance, which is again balance. So I wonder whether somebody else in prison who might have been somehow connected to a child who he has destroyed might have attempted to end his life, and ultimately that ended up being whether it was that individual, whether that was the first and only attempt or there were other attempts made on him, that set the course and trajectory. And then with the Nine of Swords, he realized soon enough that, oh shoot, this is connected the dots, and he had a lot of nightmares, and a lot of that cockiness went away. And then Five of Cups, like feeling very emotionally like down, like, oh shoot, I am alone, nobody's going to help me. So whatever cockiness he might have presented or portrayed on camera or whatever, I think he realized his end was going to be around there. And then you have the Seven of Pentacles, but he kept on keeping on, because what other option do you have? I wouldn't be surprised if he did try some tricks there too, y'all. I really wouldn't be surprised. Now I will tell you with the Star card over here that whoever offed him here, okay, also had a little bit of help. I do believe people turned the other way and allowed it to create, oh y'all, I'm so sick right now, created an environment to facilitate this. Yeah, I don't know how long I can keep this because I'm actually feeling sick. Okay, so let's stop this. Y'all, I'm actually feeling a little bit nausea, like actually quite a bit nauseated. Y'all, this fellow's energy is like freaking, I am going to be saging y'all, seriously. Hang on 1 second. Y'all, I'm gonna stop this, y'all, because I'm just gonna stop this, okay? If y'all don't mind. It's kind of getting a little heavy over here, and I'm kind of for my own state of mind. Let's just stop this. Let's see some questions. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah, I am going to do some cleansing and take a bath or whatever. I do this thing with Florida water. I sage and then I go take a shower, whatever. But I got to take Bunny for a walk after this. So anyway, y'all, do y'all have any questions regarding? Oh, Kathy, you're saying you sent 2 emails. Let me go look. I might have missed it. I know you said you were going to go to my website and book, but after that I don't recollect seeing anything, so I might have missed it. I do apologize, but I'll communicate with you via email. Yeah, so Susie, I will. So any questions you'll have with regards to this case, don't ask me questions about anything else, and I'm tearing up this paper because I feel like that. Thank you. Yeah, that's done. Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. What? Kathy says old. Okay. Okay, any questions regarding this case? Anybody has any specific questions? If not, I'll give it 5 minutes because we started at 6:15, ended 8:15, kind of make it. So if you all have any questions regarding this case, ask away. Don't ask me any other questions though, just regarding this case, or if you all have any observations or opinions of your own. But it's very unfortunate, y'all. I mean, it's seriously, my pleasure, absolutely my pleasure. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much. I do appreciate your patience and your support. Thank you, Debbie. So I just want to say one more thing, y'all, since we have just a couple minutes. For the sake of public service announcements, seriously, to all the young people, to all the adults, young adults, kids, teenagers, whatever, please be very careful with, what your kids are doing, who you're socializing with, what kind of stuff y'all are consuming. It doesn't take much, y'all. Once y'all take any of these things, it's done and you can't undo it. So please be very careful. Don't blindly accept anything from anybody. Don't ask anybody. Just go to the doctor, go to urgent care, go to whatever, right? Be very careful. It just broke my heart when I saw that video. I was like, and that's not the only case. There are a lot of cases like that. So it kind of really bothered me. So I suppose I'll try and make an effort to at least talk about it for at least 20 seconds on every video I do. But that's really sad that people don't talk about it. Another thing I found out, y'all, is this is pertaining to Texas. Apparently in Texas, the number of cases of kids in school, I'm not talking about adults, right? I'm not talking about high school kids, like middle school kids, smoking those e-cigarettes in school have exponentially gone up. And apparently the schools are calling up the police and asking them to come and deal with it or whatever. But here's my question: why is a 6th, 7th, 8th grader smoking e-cigarettes? First and foremost, do you not know that is not healthy? Yeah, it's really scary. I hear you, Susie Q. Doesn't matter what age our kids are, as parents, we will always worry about them. And I have to talk about this, y'all, maybe more than 2 minutes. I was coming home sometime 2-3 weeks ago, and it was middle of the day type of, just when school gets over type of a thing. So there's this lady who pulls up right next to me, and she's like, I'm going this way, and she's parked on the right, so I can clearly see. And she's got 2 kids in the backseat. The you could see it's not the tinted window, so you can see there were kids in the back seat, and she's smoking her e-cigarette, and she's holding the cigarette like this. I don't know why she would do that, which was so bizarre, because why are you holding the e-cigarette close to where your kids are? First and foremost, why the heck are you smoking anything in the car with your kids? Okay, your windows are up, it's clear glass, you can see, and then every time she says something, she blows out smoke over there. So it's like very bizarre. Like I felt like she was purposefully blowing that e-cigarette towards where the kids were sitting. I was like, why are you holding your cigarette like, okay, maybe this is the natural position for her to hold the e-cigarette, but she brings it, she takes a smoke, she turns around, she's talking to the kids, and she blows it out over there. I got so annoyed. When I was seeing that, and I was like, really that close to honking at her and saying, BITCH, what the heck are you doing? And then I had to stop myself, because that could turn into a whole different situation, and the next thing you know, she might call the cops and saying I'm assaulting her or whatever verbally, because these days even verbal assault is like assault, right? And then the lights changed and I just left. And I came back home straight, and I was so mad, and Mark was like, what happened now? And I was telling him, and he's like, what are you going to do? And I was so close to just winding down the window, honking and telling her to stop. He's like, I'm glad you didn't, because you never know. That's all it might take to trigger somebody. And what if she had a gun? Like, you've got to think about these things too, right? It's reality, it's life, it's what is the reality we're living in these days. But going back to this, kids, don't do that. I mean, how do these parents not know that the kids, oh, I didn't know my child had an e-cigarette in his bag. Like, what the hell? Shoot, when my kids were growing up, man, I'll tell you, I was up in their business all day, every day. I would check their pockets, I would check their books, they never had cell phones, but I would check their school bags. I would like freaking, was I a helicopter mom? No, but then I was also very, very observant. And very observant about if their demeanor changed, if something was amiss. As parents, instinctively we can check. How the hell do you not? First and foremost, where is a kid getting money from to buy e-cigarettes? I don't know how expensive or cheap they are. How the hell? Like, how do you not know? Okay, I gave my kid $10 as spending money or pocket money or whatever it is. I would be the kind of a parent who would ask my kid, so what did you buy for that money? I like you ask my kids, they'd be like, oh my God, you remember that time you gave me $5 and you asked me what I bought, and you actually got a calculator and did the math, and then you told me no, what else did you buy? Like, I don't get it, y'all. I probably belong to another, I don't know, era. I don't know. But anyhow, so the vapes have been, it's like crazy, right? Yeah, so if even whether it had THC or whatever the heck, it is still chemicals. Why the heck are you blowing it in your kids' faces, man? Yeah, that's true too. It's scary. I hear you, Araceli. There, like everything is like, yeah, yeah, it's a bit scary. I agree with Araceli also. These days it's like, it's with media and everything bombarding at them, and the hoardings on the streets, it's like e-cigarette, this flavor, that flavor, and all that. Yeah. Oh, smoking in cars with children is illegal in New Zealand. Absolutely awesome. What a wonderful thing. That is awesome. Y'all, I'm going to have to stop right now because I am really feeling sick, and I still have to take Bernie and go and for his walk and do all that. So I'm going to abruptly say 10:04. I do apologize. Thank you everybody for being here, and I'm planning on, what was the other case I was wanting to work on or do? Oh, I forgot. I'll post and let you all know. I'll schedule it. So I don't know, maybe in the next couple of days I might do another one, or maybe until Friday, we'll see. So thank you everybody, 10:04, and blessed be real family. Okay, thank you for being here. Okay, I'm going to just log out right now. Thank you everybody, Delvin, Elena, Susie, Kathy, Araceli, then let's see, ISOF, then who else do we have? Debbie, Courtney, then Alia, then that's it, Joan. Then I thought somebody else was here earlier. I don't know. Well, it's a small group, but that's fine too. Totally okay. Elena, then who else? I'm missing somebody. If I'm CC, then if I'm missing your name, I do apologize, okay? And Kelly, yeah. All right, everybody, I'm going to log out. Stay safe, stay blessed, and we shall meet again. All right, bye. And okay.